The point of today's video is to show you guys this is what a guerrilla fight will actually look like. At least this is how I would fight one. It wouldn't be some grandiose fucking charge. There wouldn't be grenades flying. What it would look like, it's extremely fucking boring. Unless you're going out on some combat mission, and you would be hunkered down in a position, fighting for your life, keeping watch. Contact! Enemy, 2 infantrymen right there, carrying AKs. Give up, scum! Put your fucking hands up! Salute. Now, if you don't know what salute is basically how you call out an enemy. You call out the unit's size, activity, location, unit type, time, and equipment. So let's say that tree right there is an enemy. How many trees? Let's call it 2. There's 2 enemies right there. What are they doing? They're just sitting there. Location. They're in between the valley right here. If you want to get real accurate, you could give grid coordinates. Unit type, just call them infantry. Time, it is 1:56 p.m. Equipment, what are they carrying? What do they have? Well, they have leaves on them. Very important to note, if you are on a reconnaissance mission, you want to report back to your commander and give them as much possible information as you can. You want the commander to have the best idea of the enemy position, how many of them, etc., so that he can determine a course of action, or you can in this scenario. So this tree is not much of a threat, so I'd probably push it and annihilate it. There was a German field manual that my buddy in the Bundeswehr gave me. It's very outdated. You can find a lot of extremely outdated manuals, and it properly told you how to call an enemy out. Let's call this fallen tree a landmark, a POI, if you will. So by the fallen tree, 3 o'clock, there's a tank at about 50 yards. Stop, listen, look, smell. So just very basic stuff. That's how you call an enemy out. That's how you do a salute report. Something else that's kind of niche. They said in certain situations where you can't use a DMR or a machine gunner, and let's say this is a grenade, we're fighting up that hill. If all of the squad weapons couldn't be used, you would have to get into grenade throwing distance, but you had to be extremely careful that when you threw said grenade, that it wouldn't roll back. So keep an eye on that rock. Didn't roll back. But if you go extremely steep, you would notice that. Let's talk a little bit about tracking too. This is an animal. You can see that an animal was digging here. You can see tracks right there. Somebody also had a campfire here. And another thing to do if you're trying to track someone, you could feel if there was heat or not. You could look for embers you could smell, and that would be a way to detect if somebody was there. It's important for you, after you break contact with an enemy, to check the remaining capacity of your mags. How I like to do it is by weight. When you get used to this shit, you can literally tell how much ammo you have left based on the weight alone. Another thing you should do if you were planning to have a guerrilla fight up in the mountains, it would be important to identify these as kill zones. Now, what do I mean by kill zones? I'll show you. There is absolutely no way in hell an enemy is scaling this without getting fucking murdered. See how steep that shit is? First of all, you would hear them from a mile away. Second off, it's too fucking steep. I mean, somebody could scale this, yes. But you would ideally want to position someone here and they would just watch this whole sector right here. It's also important, so let's say I'm right here and I've got a 180 field of view. What you ideally would want is somebody way out over there to also have another 180 view, so he could cover my flank, I could cover his. Look at this little guy, huh? Another thing that I think is very important to train is if your weapon system goes down and you have a catastrophic jam. I mean something you can't just rack the charging handle back and forth and fix. I mean, let's say you gotta mortar the damn thing. You should train being in a situation where it makes more sense for you to go to your pistol. Yes, switching to your pistol is faster than reloading, unless you're some guy cracked out of his mind. So I'm gonna try to emulate that here. I'm gonna try to get in between the logs or on top of the logs right here and engage. Catastrophic jam, move to your pistol. Ideally you would have the pistol in a really good area, but I don't. Now let's say we got them on the run and we want to follow up the assault. Let's fucking race. You want to see me get on the line? Let's go. A lot of guys talk about how water purification is important in the field. I have amazing news for you guys. You don't have to worry about water purification if you just bring your own water. An important thing for you to understand is when you tourniquet, you also need to tourniquet. You need to check your buddies. If somebody gets hit or something, you need to make sure that that motherfucker isn't hit anywhere else. You need to check him like a monkey with bugs. You gotta make sure that motherfucker didn't get shot somewhere, fragmentation didn't hit him, shit like that. So that is one big fucking cigarette, dude. Can you imagine smoking that? She called me David the way she be gogging on. Never mind. That's not Christian. Bro, somebody pick me up, man. What the fuck? Why does Uber not fucking work out here? Where's the fucking Big Macs, man?